I actually think it's actually live right now.
You're live.
Yeah.
No, now you're
Now
live.
we're live. All right.
Okay,
Welcome back
all
to
right.
another episode of Backcountry BSing. This is going to be the first official non-lockdown BSing where we bring the guest in virtually live.
Yeah, we have the technology.
We have the technology to do it. We are chatting with a good friend of ours, a solid YouTuber, a great backpacker, a great man,
a great mentor.
a great mentor. We are bringing in Mr. Tim, a great beard too.
Yeah.
All right,
Captain Beard.
We got Mr. Tim Watson. Actually, sorry, Dr. Tim Watson.
Yeah.
Sorry. Tim, how's it
How
going,
many
man?
people know that? Like, I don't think many people know.
Should I
that.
not have said that?
About it. What's that? No, it's fine.
I won't say. I won't give any more details.
Yeah.
He's an esteemed doctor.
Yes.
Tim, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah. Tim,
we
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
But you called in on on one of our live
that doesn't
streams.
count though. That's like a little one.
Yeah.
But I was actually looking back, and I was looking back through the Backcountry BSing playlist, and I knew you were one of the first, but you were the second guest we ever had.
You remember?
Bryce was the first, right?
Yeah.
Bryce was the first,
But
yeah.
that was a test. That was a test.
Yeah. And I remember that was a great day. We drove up to
Your neck of the woods.
We drove up to Finley.
We did some trail running.
What was the name of that state park?
Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we BS'd, and then Andy made us fajitas.
Yes.
Yeah, which was delicious. And I pretty much take full responsibility for your guys' launch and
Yes.
where
Hey,
you are
yes.
right
Hey.
now.
Yes.
Hey, you are so much bigger of a YouTuber than Bryce. When we went from first episode to second episode,
Yeah.
it launched the brand, Tim.
And Tim, we always give you credit too because we were always super fangirls of your channel, and then like every once in a while you'd give us a shout out and we'd go crazy over it.
Yeah, the early days, and then we did the and then before all that, we did the REI thing.
Oh yeah.
Which was super fun. And in fact, we were throwing around the idea literally a week before the coronavirus thing about doing another one of these. And we're like, we got to talk to Tim.
Yeah.
And then the virus came and that didn't happen. What fate? First, I know we chatted before we went live. Solid beard, man.
Yes.
From two people who
Thank
can't grow facial hair at all. Are you gonna keep it?
For right now, my wife is cool with it. I got past. I was telling Andy earlier the like funny prickly stage where she's like, "Don't come near me," but now she's like, "Okay, it's kind of soft. It's kind of smooth. She's kind of used to it." And but now I'm running into like beard maintenance issues where I'm like, "Oh, I really got to like take care of it. I can't just let it go."
So do you have to like oil it and stuff?
Yeah, what's that like?
Yeah. So I'm talking to Jason Helmendaler.
Oh, yeah.
As well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good resource.
And I actually bought, of all things, I know, a beard straightener.
Wait, hold on.
Is that a thing?
That's an actual device?
Right? Yeah. So it's like a hair straightener, but
Like
it's like a beard comb.
Like it
So it doesn't
clamps?
pinch. It's like a heated comb. You just pull through your beard, and it straightens it.
How many days is this? Am I looking at?
So since probably mid-April.
Okay, so like a month and a half. Oh,
Yeah, I guess so.
man.
Yeah.
That's
Tim,
solid.
You're
Tim.
getting some good compliments in the chat.
Oh yeah, so
Actually, it's funny because before growing the beard, I actually shaved the stash.
really?
And I was completely clean shaven. Yeah, and then I just grew it because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back with it.
And we should say, I need to mention this. So on the live ones, we don't actively look at the comments, but towards the end of the chat or the end of this, however long this goes, usually about an hour, we'll look there and see if anyone's dropped any comments for Tim.
David Gray said your beard looks good, Tim.
Thanks. That means a lot coming from David.
Yeah. I feel like his beard's going to be a hot topic tonight.
Yes.
No, so there's a couple things I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about your recent trip. I also want to talk to you about
Your future,
your
your summer,
upcoming
your
trip.
summer stuff. If you can
Because
divulge it.
Did you talk to us about that, or did
Yeah, briefly, I think.
on the so that's open news, right? Where you're going?
Yeah.
Will you recap for the listeners what's your big trip? That's like in July, right?
Yeah, it's coming up here less than a month, so I'm already started training for it. We're going to Holy Cross Wilderness in Colorado. So we're going to do that Holy Cross loop that David actually made popular.
That's right.
And so that's our plan. So we're booking, hotels are booked, rental cars are booked, and what else? Yeah, no permits to speak of, but already talking about looking at the top of the map and see where we're going to stay each night. And so I'm really excited for it.
Are you over the point of like, are we past the point of like COVID's going to stop me from this trip, or is it's game on?
It's game on. I don't think it's going to stop us at this point. God forbid there's a huge flare up or the airline goes under or something like that. But for right now, we're going.
Good.
I was supposed to go to Colorado for a wedding like a month after you guys are going to be there, and they just were like, we're going to do the wedding in a year. They're like, we'll just cancel. Yeah. They're like, just same date, 2021. And I was like, and I had everything booked that burned. Ooh. Yeah. Still can go. No, I canceled everything.
Nothing to the bride and groom, but if it were me, I would just be like, hey, let's do something small.
Yeah.
And, just like get married now. Why wait another year?
Yeah. I don't know how big I don't know how big the wedding was going to be. I do know that the reception was, I think, going to be outside, like a beautiful outdoor Colorado wedding. I was really looking forward to it.
So you're still going to go, right?
I honestly, the thought crossed my mind of going out there and hitting up the Colorado Trail, but no, it's not going to happen. But you said something earlier. I actually want to talk to you about this. How are you training for this?
Yeah.
So running.
Nice.
Okay.
So every time I've gone, so I definitely was in pretty good shape for a 4-pass loop, and that was still hard. But I remember running and like cardio for me was super helpful, regulating my breathing, and pacing myself for a period of time. So that's pretty much. I'm still riding my bike occasionally when I can, but that's more for fun. Like the actual training is 3 times a week. I'll run at least 3 miles.
Nice.
As well.
Oh, nice, Tim.
And so just kind of hit that up and make sure I do it. And I always feel better when I run. There was that in between trip, not 4-pass loop, the Utah trip. I was not in as good shape as I was the Colorado trip, and I felt it. I just was not running as frequently, and I could just tell I was not in as good shape for Utah. I just kind of underestimated it. And so this time I'm like, nope, not going to let that happen. As soon as I came back from my previous trip, which I guess we'll get to probably.
Yeah.
I just said, nope, game on. This month is, 3 times a week minimum, and we're going to run and kind of get in shape for it.
Do you have the Joshes out there with you?
No. Well, karate Josh, I probably couldn't keep up with. Yeah. I'll be completely honest. I think even before we went on our last trip, he's like, oh, I'm just going to do a 20-mile bike ride and then come back and drive in the car and then hike another 10 miles and we're good. But no, and Subaru, he is definitely into the cycling. I know he probably will break his ankle if we keep running or something.
He's in the chat right now, and he's probably just starting to think about Colorado. His ankles will shatter.
Yeah.
How many?
I had him over the other day. He was boring wheelbarrow. So he lives around the corner from me pretty much, and he was boring something, and he's just standing in my backyard, and I swear his ankle buckled at something. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you?
Was he getting the bird bath from you?
He was not. He was actually just he was doing some mulch. So he was getting a wheelbarrow, shovel, that sort of thing.
Okay.
In all seriousness, and Josh is in here, like you start rolling your ankles and spraining your ankles, they become more susceptible. Like, it's time for an ankle brace. Like every once in a while, I'll have to wear it.
He used to backpack with one.
Yeah.
He used to take an ankle brace.
No shame.
With him.
Yeah. Makes a big difference.
And now he carries Ace bandage, and I carry this is a swap out I made. I used to carry an Ace bandage too, because I've had every trip I'll have a bad ankle roll, and I was like, I'll carry some Ace bandage, but now I carry that I carry that KT tape, that kinesio tape. Have you ever used that stuff?
No.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's for how light it is, and you could just cut a couple strips of it. It's a good backpacking first aid kit edition.
Yeah.
It's super light, and it is as strong as a brace. So I carry that stuff now.
Yeah.
But I've considered like just kind of carrying a knee brace. You know those single strap knee braces, especially for me for the downhill. If I have a lot of downhill up and down, my knees could hurt. But all I've done to adjust for that is kind of bend my knees when I go downhill and use the trekking poles, and it's been fine.
If you watch our Colorado trail trip, the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I'm in a knee brace and a compression, and a calf compression because I was coming off of a nasty running injury.
That's right.
But yeah, I can't, like, I gotta have something just in case. Knees are good now though, but I mean, I've destroyed my ankles over the years, so like if you're susceptible, just get some compression on your ankles, and you can wear it in your shoe, and it does a great job.
What's your mileage going to be like?
I have no idea.
Nice.
Good. I like that. That's our style trip.
I like it. YOLO, Tim.
We have the route planned. We have like ideas of where we're going to start. Like, I know the first day or two is going to be, hey, we're going to camp near the trailhead, and then we're going to take that first pass, which is the highest pass. I'm not even sure what it is, 12.5 maybe.
Oh, nice.
And then, we'll probably come down a camp on the other side. And then from there, honestly, it's just kind of like
whatever.
We'll meander around.
Yeah.
It's kind of, after that first pass, from what I remember seeing the topo, it's pretty much a very slow downhill back around to the car. So
wait, so did you say day one or night one? You're gonna land and then do a 12.5 pass that day?
No. We're gonna land, and then we're gonna like stay at like pretty close to the trailhead is the plan for right now. So still at whatever that trailhead is, 10.5, something like that. Very similar to what we did when we went to Four Pass Loop. Is we flew in, we drove, and then we pretty much got on the loop and camped like, I don't know, a mile or two in. That way it set us up for a pretty good kind of launch day on day 2.
Do you bring any sort of different like nutritional or food sort of things when you're at altitude?
Are you doing the ginkgo? You did that last time.
No. Ibuprofen is what I'm going to do.
Oh, nice.
That's
Classic.
what I did both times, both Colorado and Utah. I think I've shared it before, just like what I do for altitude sickness. So as soon as I get on the plane is where I'll start the ibuprofen regimen. And probably I'll only do it for probably 2 days this time, because it's only once I start hitting above like 11,000 feet is where I feel weird.
Yeah.
The altitude weirdness. Like once I start hitting like 10.5, 10.6, it doesn't impact me as much. I just have to pace myself and make sure I'm not like just out of breath or making my heart race on purpose.
Yeah.
The big thing for me too, you just the usual stuff. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
That's my plan. I do something weird though. I don't know if you guys do this at all, but I gulp a lot of air down because I'm trying to breathe a lot.
That makes sense.
And so I actually end up with like, and it's not a heart thing. It's like almost like a chest pain because the air pockets kind of get stuck. It feels like in my stomach. So my stomach's like pretty full of air because I'm just kind of.
Are you burping a lot?
What's that?
Are you burping a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. A ton. And
interesting.
And gas too, which is not unheard of. I think at altitude.
Yeah.
So what I have to do is, my breakfast is fine. I can have a bar or whatever. But lunch I have to be careful. Like it's something snacky or something a little heavier. And then for dinner I have to have something hot to kind of get all that air up. And so that seems to work for me. But that's actually one thing I don't look forward to altitude, is just getting all that air in my stomach. That's
kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I remember when we were in Colorado, I noticed things getting weird above 10.5, and it was even weirder for me because I'd never done it before. Was sleeping up like above 11.
Yeah,
that's what's weird because we did the pass and come down, but then there was 1 or 2 nights where we camped above 11, and they're like, whoa, I'm high. Like I can feel it, like when you're sleeping and when you wake up, and that was a really surreal feeling. And my strategy, Andy's too, which has always worked well, is just drink so much water. Just drink like way more water than you think you need. I take a multivitamin. I don't know if that does anything, But we grew up skiing. We've never had altitude sickness problems.
No,
Really.
I can't remember anything. I mean, we didn't have any issues.
We didn't have any issues in Colorado, and I remember sleeping above 11. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get altitude sickness, it's gonna be here.
I think the only time I had a really bad experience is, and this is pre-backpacking when I lived in Colorado, is seeing Pikes Peak and taking that like it's like a railway or a train, a cogwheel train, and they take a cogwheel trip up to Pikes Peak. And I remember like having the most intense, I was sucking water down, having the most intense headache.
Yeah,
Because you go straight from
common.
Colorado
Yeah,
Springs all the way up to the top.
yeah, like really bad headaches is like the first classic sign of altitude sickness, and I've never gotten that, but I've always been like really judicial about drinking water. Way more water.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's even a recommended thing for altitude sickness.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay, I know everybody does it.
Why? Do you know why?
That's a great question.
No idea.
Just more oxygen in the water.
No, you don't absorb oxygen through water.
We're not like fish.
No, I mean maybe one thing.
I'm a doctor of psychology.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, yes.
You're still a doctor, Tim. You should know that. No, maybe I might hypothesize that one adaptation most likely to altitude, it certainly is to running, is your body probably increases blood volume. That would make sense to me. That happens during exercise training. That makes sense. That would happen during altitude adaptation, and therefore you need water that way.
It also could be. Do you think it has something to do with because they suggest ibuprofen for anti-inflammatory?
That's interesting too. I never heard that.
Water reduces inflammation.
It could. I mean, it could. Just the other thing is drinking a lot of water is just really good for it. It's like drinking a lot of water. I used to tell people this: drinking a lot of water and getting a lot of sleep are like it's good for every single organ system. It's like it's just like really good for you to stay really hydrated. But I never knew. Actually, I didn't know that ibuprofen was an altitude sickness strategy.
Wait, so
there's one study out of Stanford Medical that did like an experimental study with a small group, and that's kind of what I'm basing it on. So I saw it somewhere else, and I read the study, and I'm like, okay, because you have to be careful because some people have reactions to ibuprofen.
Right.
And, I haven't had an issue, so that's why I use it as soon as I get on the plane till like I know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll stop taking it.
But have you noticed it working?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty much like every 6 hours. So it's like wake up and then lunchtime and then right before bed, take another dose and then wake up, do it all over again. For at least for 4 passes, I did it for I think 2 days like that. So every 4 hours, whatever the dose is, I don't remember what it is. I'm not giving medical advice.
Those
But
doctors
so
at Stanford are onto something.
Yeah,
No, I did not know that. But we're taking ibuprofen anyway because from hiking pains.
But honestly, like I felt so great on 4 pass loop doing it. I'm like, man, nothing hurts at all.
That's interesting.
So is altitude sickness linked to inflammation?
Might be.
I think so. Like,
might be.
I think you're. That's what they think. I think they think that's the reason why ibuprofen works.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I think I want to see your brain, or just the skull pressure. I'm assuming is increasing, or
That would make
there's
sense.
more increased blood flow, like Kevin was talking about. Who knows?
So Scott Valor in the chat said something pretty interesting. He said easy there.
Sorry.
It is the increased blood volume that helps you carry more oxygen.
Oh, Kobe. That was a total guess. That was a total guess based on my understanding of the physiology of the human body at exercise. Interesting. That's cool. Thanks, Scott.
Pretty impressive.
No, but the ibuprofen thing is really cool.
And then Scott and David also mentioned that bourbon is great sleep aid in the mountains as well. So
Tim,
there you go, Tim.
Do you guys ever take alcohol with you?
I usually do not, but do some people? Yes.
If you had to, gun to the head, what would your camp drink be?
Oh, let's see. It'd have to be a really dark beer. So a
Nice.
stout or a porter.
That's a good one.
Chocolate stout, coffee stout,
I see-
porter of some kind.
I see Subaru Josh pulling that too, like a
yeah.
microbrew
Yeah.
or coffee stout or something like that.
It can be anything. Like I pretty much, whenever our post hike meal, I'll be like, hey, what is the darkest porter or
Nice.
stout you have here? What do you recommend? So even from our last trip, that's what I got last time. And Russian Imperial type stouts,
Yeah.
those kind of things like are just so good. And it's a funny reason why I grew up drinking a non-alcoholic malt called Tiger Malt, which is super hoppy. It's really dark, no alcohol in it. And when I came to the States, I couldn't find it. So I tried to find like the next best thing. I had, your pale ales, and I'm like, this stuff is gross. Or your IPAs, I'm like, oh, this is awful. But then I found a porter or a stout. I'm like, this is it. This is exactly what I've been looking for.
Interesting. It's called Tiger Malt.
Tiger Malt. It's like a Barbadian
I was gonna ask you if it's
non-alcoholic malt beverage.
Oh, interesting.
Google it.
I've
Tiger
never
Malt.
heard of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's a thing people drink, a non-alcoholic malt.
Yeah, it's like a very hoppy beverage.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
it carbonated?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Comes in bottles.
Sounds
You
good.
should get them to sponsor you. Tiger Malt.
Thanks, beer.
Do you have any other backpacking trips planned for this year?
That is the only one planned for right now.
Yeah.
So that would be in July, and then pretty much August will roll around, and I'll probably be back in school here soon. But yeah, that's all I have planned for now. We will definitely. This is in January, but we'll always do the Oil Creek trip in
Yeah, we need
January.
to make it. We need to make it out for one of those.
Yeah, totally.
I
Like
know.
it's a blast.
Do you think?
So we'll probably do something in September or October. I'm not sure where. We haven't done the gorge this year, but
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to carve out a weekend for the Ohio YouTube meetup. That counts. We'll have that again, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if Restless ever.
Well, yeah, everybody's too lazy to organize it, so
He
it
has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy and I before last year had never been to Red River Gorge. That's also a sweet area to hike, and I always thought, and they do a Hammock Forums meetup there, but I thought a Hanson's Point YouTuber meetup would be pretty fun as well because that's pretty accessible. Like,
remind me what you guys have planned for the year.
so honestly, we're
Not a whole bunch.
we're going to Zaleski next weekend, but we did a bunch of backpacking. We've done, I don't know, 6 trips already this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we're going to try and swing. So our sister lives out in Reno, Nevada now. And it's effectively Lake Tahoe. It's like 7 miles from there.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to try and swing some stuff out there late summer, early fall. Have you ever been out there, Tim? Tahoe?
No,
Oh man.
I've heard it's beautiful.
It is, and it is not a disgust. It is a fantastic backpacking spot. I went out there our sister moved out there last summer, and I went out there and did just some quick one night things because she lived out there. And there's a trail called the Tahoe Rim Trail.
Yes.
That's a very common like through hike trail. Actually, Spigiver's doing it this year. And it is beautiful. Like it's Northern California, like almost like John Muir Trail looking stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is 10 miles from Reno, Nevada.
Yeah. And they're making a connector trail to it from Reno.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's
the only reason I know about that rim trail, I think when we did, maybe it was Mount LeConte. When we did that, it ended up, there was a lady who was staying at the shelter with us in the Smokies who had done that trail, and she was just talking it up, and I was like, wow, sounds really cool.
It is cool. I've only done 2 days on it, but it's just so much different than, I mean, it's similar to like Colorado backpacking, like just so much better than backpacking here in the Midwest.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'll do. I'll probably do Colorado or out west every year if I can.
Yeah.
If I can swing it. It's just so different. It's so worth it. Like it's hard, and there are points where you're like, boy, this is super hard. You're going up this pass or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the approach to the pass for the first time, you're like, wow, that's really high. But it is so worth it.
Yeah.
It is like one of the best experiences, I think.
It's so picturesque to be able to see like different environments like that. And we found too that when we did the Colorado Trail, the grading was actually very gentle. Now, granted,
Yes.
I don't know what Holy Cross is like.
yeah, but like it is kind of intimidating when you're like, oh, we have a 9-mile climb today, but it's
so
but it's like
soft.
it's a soft, easy climb. I mean, there's some hard climbs. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it wasn't as aggressive. Yeah.
It was weird. The Colorado Trail, like the PCT, is graded for pack animals. So like we've had worse days at Zaleski or Shawnee State Forest than we ever had on the Colorado Trail in terms of like steepness and aggressiveness of climbs. So it's just like, and the trail's soft and it doesn't rain. It's beautiful.
No bugs.
And there's no bugs.
Yeah. Humidity is super low.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
another thing.
Yeah.
That was another thing that totally caught us off guard. Cause like we'd hike all day and we get to camp and we're totally dry and we don't smell that bad.
Yeah.
You know, like the lack.
It caught us at the end.
After 7 days, it's gonna get you. But the lack of humidity was really in terms of like how enjoyable the trip is from like a like just like being at camp. Like we were in West Virginia for 7 days, 2 weeks ago, and it rained every single day. 90% humidity, and like your hammock, like everything is just like wet. You know, it's not like dripping wet, but everything just feels damp. Versus in Colorado, like you take your pack off and your back is dry.
Yeah, that's
like, what?
I think I think when we did 4 Pass, I think it rained every day, and so we were wet every day, but it didn't feel like it just because you dried so fast.
Yeah,
you got to camp, you could chill.
Yeah. Do you have any fun new pieces of gear or anything you're testing on this trip?
On this, yes, actually, I have the outdoor. Well, I've carried it before and tested before, but I'm going to be using the Outdoor Research Helium 3.
Oh, they have a 3 now?
Whoa.
We're still on the 2.
Yeah, we have 2, right? Yeah, it's the next one.
They have a new one.
It has not been released yet.
What? Oh, Tim's got the Outdoor Research hookup.
Tim, how
did
you
release yet? I think it gets released in the spring. Maybe someone can fact check me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure someone reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to try this?" And I said, "Sure, I'll try it."
Nice.
So it is lighter and it is more packable.
Nice.
Remember the Helium 2, like they had a pocket almost sewn in to it, and you fold it in. This one is different because this one actually, it makes sense, uses the the chest pocket, and it folds in on itself that way.
Oh, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think I also have the pants too, for the whole set. But yeah,
I hope you get some rain so you can test them.
I'm sure we're gonna get rain.
If they're looking for more testers,
I like that. You take any new gear? I don't know, just some unreleased new technology from Outdoor Research.
And the fabric is really cool. I did notice that right away as soon as I picked it up. Like the fabric is different.
Yeah.
The tag is somewhere over there. But I have bits of gear hanging around my bedroom. But it's somewhere over there. But it's a newer fabric. It feels just as strong. So like I've never had any problems with the Helium 2 in terms of going through brush and feeling worried about it. And this one feels just like that. So
okay.
Are you gonna be in the tarp tent, or are you gonna bring your hammock?
I have not decided. I'm either going to do the tarp tent, or I'm going to ask Karate Josh to borrow. He has 2 tents now. He has the tarp tent Pro Trail, and he also has the tarp tent Double Rainbow, I think. So I was going to ask him whichever one he doesn't carry, because the Rain Shadow 3 is just too big for just me. If someone else was staying in it and we could share the weight, that'd be cool. But I have to look at David's video again, because I was thinking about doing the hammock, and I'm undecided.
Are you worried about tree availability?
A little.
Yeah.
And also, just how it limits, because I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to be doing tents.
Oh.
And so if I'm the only hammock guy and we want to camp,
that guy.
I don't know, at this really open area, I don't want to be that guy who's stopping everyone from being like, "Hey, I need a hammock with 2 trees, guys."
Well, Tim's got a hammock. We can't stay out in this cool open area.
I guess we gotta stay over in that swamp over there.
I thought of you on our last trip. I've been using, because I know you're a pad in the hammock guy. I've been using my pad in the hammock, and I thought of you, and I was like, this actually isn't bad at all.
No, it just depends on the hang. Like, there's some times where you're like, this is not quite right. But as long as you let some air out, you're pretty good.
And then you have that good feeling in your head that if stuff goes south, I can sleep on the ground.
Exactly.
Is a comforting feeling. And on a trip like you're going, That's fantastic because if you want,
Yeah.
if you can have the ability to do it.
Yeah.
But I also think the banyan, like the ridged hammocks,
It's a bridge hammock.
make the pads a little easier.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Like using it. I've never used a pad in a gathered end hammock, but using a pad in this bridge hammock, it's like no big deal at all. Actually, I think it's more comfortable than using an underquilt in it. So that's why I used it. But I did think it's very comforting to know that I can sleep on the ground if I need to with this and be totally fine.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, other than the helium, I'm pretty sure it's the helium 3, whatever they call it, helium 3, whatever, the new outdoor research helium, and it's the bare bones one. There's no pockets. There's no other zippers besides that test. So I'm pretty sure it's the helium 3. Besides that, just like some same old stuff. I think you'll see probably some new camp shoes on there. I don't remember what they're called, but they're pretty much like bare bones.
Yeah.
Like here's a strap, and here's the rubber tread, and that's kind of it. Because I think camp shoes are almost a must in Colorado for me. I did not. I think I carried Crocs one time, but now they're a little heavy. But I just like at camp, get your feet to dry out, and you feel so much better.
I'm adamantly pro camp shoes for the reasons you just mentioned. And on our last trip, so we did 2 separate trips, and on the first trip, nobody brought camp shoes other than me, and on the second trip, everybody brought camp shoes because they realized
I threw them in the car.
They realized their mistake.
Well, okay, so like feet were wet all day long, so
all day
having the ability to walk around with dry feet at the end of the day was
it's
fantastic.
Huge. It's good for your feet.
But we were dry in Colorado. I didn't have any need for it there, but like
I still brought them in Colorado. It's just nice. You're in these shoes all day. Just let your feet breathe a little bit, and they're not
You
that
were
heavy.
dry in Colorado?
Yeah,
we didn't get a single day of rain.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was actually kind of
weird.
it was very technical for the water sources too.
Yeah.
So
You had to plan.
Like there was one water source where we had to walk into town and go to a hose at a fire station. That was
Yeah, for real. There was not water. Was like we would go 20-mile stretches without any water.
Oh,
Yeah. But it did not. We were out there for 7 days, like just under 100 miles, and not a single raindrop. Right?
yeah. Because the section you did, how many were there? Any huge passes?
There were
one or two. We did get rain one day.
Did we?
For like 10 minutes. Remember we were down by that creek? It's in the video.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, we only did I think 2 passes, and the highest pass was I think 11.5.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
you're going
Because
way
that
higher.
forecast every it was like clockwork. It was like morning, and then you saw the clouds coming in the afternoon, and then it would pour for a little bit and then stop.
Yeah, that's how West Virginia was. It was weird. It was like 4:10 every day. The skies just opened up and torrential downpours for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Every day. Like clockwork.
More than that.
And going back to Colorado, I remember thinking in Colorado, man, if I'm up on one of these passes and a thunderstorm comes in, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know? Especially at 12.5.
Watch David's 4-pass video.
Yeah, that's true. That does happen.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember Karate Josh and I were talking about it the other day about coming down Frigidaire Pass, and like that probably being the most terrified I think I've ever been backpacking, just because the lightning was around, it was striking, and I think it was funny. We were just remembering I passed a bunch of these kids who were heading on the pass with us. I'm like, hey, do you mind holding your trekking pole up in the air and like walk next to me? And he didn't think that was too funny.
That is scary though, because if it starts lightninging and there's nothing out there, you know, you got some metal on you.
Yeah.
You know, especially those trekking
Go
poles.
frameless. Carbon fiber poles.
Carbon fiber poles. I did think that once. I was like, at least I have carbon fiber poles. You know, but I guess I don't know. I guess if you're only out there, I mean, you're just making the pass. The odds of something bad happening are pretty low.
Yeah, it's really low.
I don't know. That's pretty cool though, man. When we were out in Colorado 2 years ago, I was like, I never realized how much awesome backpacking there was in Colorado. I mean, there's a lot of, other than the Colorado Trail, there is so much good backpacking in Colorado. And it's like good it's It's graded well.
Yeah.
The trails are nice. Like it's well mapped. Like it's good back. You don't think of we grew up skiing. So we always thought of Colorado as like a skiing state, like a winter state. But there is a solid amount of summer backpacking activities out there.
Of course.
I never realized that.
It's amazing.
I still remember, like I mentioned Pikes Peak, and because I lived in Colorado, and that was one of the things people did is Pikes Peak, and I still remember doing that and going up to the train and being like, "Who are those idiots out with backpacks on, like, climbing up?"
Jokes
Pikes
on
Peak?
you,
Like,
Tim.
Who does that? And it was so funny. Now my wife always reminds me. She's like, "Remember that when you said that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
That's pretty funny.
Are you gonna do videos for your Colorado trip? You gonna put YouTube? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Can we expect a video from Manistee?
You can expect it. I just have not edited anything at all.
Okay.
I've been it's people, just it's funny how busy I've gotten.
Tim, this is your off season.
What do you mean?
Like,
It is off season.
Yeah.
But I've been keeping busy with my urban homestead here.
Oh, right. The chickens in the wood shop.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that why you have the beard?
I forgot about the chicken.
So the chicken coop is finally done today. Like I got everything trimmed out.
Wow.
And it's funny because I've never really built anything in my life, so this was a little tricky for me.
Yeah.
And I'm using limited tools because I'm like, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So my tools were a circular saw. I already had the drill and an impact driver. A jigsaw is what I bought, and I bought a pocket hole jig.
Okay.
Did you get the Binford 3500 pocket hole jig?
Tim.
Oh,
That was really good.
That was good.
You could have made a cool YouTube video about this. Did you think about it?
That's what Subaru was trying to convince me to make a video, because in addition to the coop, I still have to build a run for them, and then the chicks are right now in my den area in a bin. Okay. And we also have a couple garden beds near it, and a trellis made out of a cattle panel.
Oh.
So for tomatoes and cucumber to climb up, just kind of
a
little bit more vertical gardening, I guess.
Oh.
See, gardening and homesteading is very hot on YouTube. It's arguably bigger than backpacking.
It's not arguably. It is bigger.
And with a worldwide pandemic, what a good time to becoming self-sufficient on your own land.
Yeah, that was the whole reason for the chickens. Is we were gonna do it next summer, and then this happened. I'm like, okay, well, we're home anyway.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best time to do it.
We can flip gears to pandemic for a little bit. I know we talked a little bit ago, but how have things become more normal in your household at all?
I think so. I think it's starting to open up a little more. Kids are back to like piano lessons and seeing people, but it's still somewhat restricted.
Yeah.
At least for us. And people are still like our local pool is limiting the amount of people who goes there. So like, there's a long line outside the pool. A bunch of our parades have been canceled, and I don't know how it is in your county, but our county doesn't have very many cases, but it's ticking.
Well, not the cases part. Not the cases part.
We have the most cases of any county in Ohio.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to ask you a question, but I want to make a comment about the pool thing. So we have a neighborhood pool, and you know what my pool is doing, which I love, and I hope they keep it, is they're doing a reservation system.
Oh,
it's fantastic. Nice. Oh, and they keep the pool at like 50% capacity.
Yeah.
And it's reservation only. So you show up, you know exactly where you're going. There's half the amount of people there. I'm like, this is great.
Do they limit how long you stay there?
Yes.
Though?
Well, you can only go for 2 hours at a time.
Oh, okay.
But you can reserve multiple 2-hour blocks a week.
Ah, okay.
And the only time, it's not bad at all. I hope they won't, but I hope they keep it going for like ever, but they won't. But I wanted to ask you, because you're a good person to ask. Do you think kids are going to go to school in September or August? Like,
yes.
You think so?
Yeah. At least we'll start.
Okay.
That was no hesitation.
Yeah. Well, I just get the sense that we have to plan like we may not be for forever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think word is that we're gonna start Once again, barring any like flare ups
Yeah.
or anything. But I think we'll start, which is good. But then we'll see where we go.
Right.
It's just gonna be weird because it's gonna be I could see how like something like that could spread pretty quickly in a school.
Yeah.
I think there was one time we had a case of norovirus and we had to shut down because
Oh, really?
it was in a middle school and there were kids throwing up all over the place. Yeah, it was like within everyone was fairly normal that day to start with, and by the afternoon we had to close down, send people and not open the next day. Luckily, it was like it had butted up to like Thanksgiving break or something, so we just closed down a day early, sanitized everything, and said, "Hey, we'll see you guys back after break."
Wow.
I see. Okay, so maybe this I never thought I thought they would just because you listen to DeWine talk and you don't know what, but I thought they'd be like, all right, we're virtual school for the next 6 months. I didn't think maybe they'd start it and then if it gets in there, shut them down.
So like there's some schools that are having like levels. So let's say like red, yellow, and green. And so green means hey, everyone's here. Yellow is like a hybrid approach,
like
online,
less
and then
people,
some people on campus. And then red is like hey, everyone's at home. So
interesting. This is
we'll
good
see where it goes. The thing that I guess talking about current events is I'm more concerned about of course the deaths and everything and school starting and hospitals being overwhelmed, but like I know major cuts coming to schools and businesses hurting, and so
I know we were texting about that and I was doing some Googling because I remember like a month ago when DeWine brought this up. So for people listening, that's the governor of Ohio. He had these daily briefings, but I didn't think about the tax ramifications of people not spending money.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, if we're not spending money, the libertarian in me is like, oh yeah, if we're not spending money, they're not getting our tax dollars. But if they're not getting our tax dollars,
then we're not getting
funded,
social services.
Things are gonna hurt. I was like, shit. So do you foresee? I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious, but is there going to be like a major impact on the education system?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think there's gonna be a bigger disparity than before because I mean, there's some local areas that will be fine because if they get a lot of local funds, and I think everyone's gonna feel pain, but people will feel different levels of pain.
Yeah.
So, for example, I know we will be getting some cuts in terms of funds for sure, and then we also have like we get some money through the federal government did the CARES Act.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
and so we get some funds through that. So people were thinking, oh, so you guys are good, right? You're that kind of no, it doesn't wash out that way.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting, I think, half of what will be cut. So it helps. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going to be. And the thing that bothers me all the time, though, is that that probably means that music and art will suffer.
Yeah,
like those kind of programs. I know we're probably going to cut out any field trips.
Is
that sort of thing.
Are music and art like on the chopping block? They're the first ones to go.
Yeah, always.
Really?
Yeah, always. Because everyone cares about math and reading, which is important. But yeah,
that's a nice.
You don't think. I mean, other than if you work in this field, you don't think about the peripheral impacts of this sort of thing.
I mean, there's impacts to everything. I mean, there's
you're right. I can't think of a sector that hasn't even in our line of work, everything's been impacted.
Yeah.
You're right. I can't think of, and I never thought of the lack of tax revenue because I'm sure education isn't the only thing that's going to have cuts.
Yeah. I know. Like my wife works for a library, so I think they already had a pretty big state cut. I don't know, a while ago back with Governor Kasich.
Yeah.
And then we had to make that up with local funds. I mean, everyone loves the library, so that was
right.
That was cool. But I know a lot of school levies after this did not pass because people were concerned about their taxes going up, and then not be able to make it up with work. So
you just gotta move down to Columbus, Tim. We pass like every school levy.
Yeah.
Do you really?
You
I
put
mean,
it
we
out
do.
there, we'll pass it.
We do. Upper UA passed a huge one like 2 years ago, like a $260 million one. It was absurd. And
I'm sure. Hey, Columbus suburb salaries are really good.
Columbus suburbs do love their school levies. They do.
I think what's a bunch of them that I always see, and I'm like, man, that would be really sweet to work there. But then I'd be living in the city. Worthington is pretty good. Upper Arlington is pretty good. Bexley's pretty
Tim,
good too,
come
right?
on
You
down.
couldn't bring the chickens though.
Tim,
I
you
know.
could in some places. Worthington, you could. I know you have family down here, don't you?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a family in Worthington district.
Yeah. I have a couple friends that are teachers. I know you're not a teacher, but they're in the education system. And
Yeah.
They always tell me that the suburb jobs are like sought after.
Yes.
The teaching jobs
Yes.
in the suburbs are sought after.
A while ago, I think I interviewed and was offered a job in Cincinnati. Blue Ash, is that the name of the place?
Okay.
Sounds
Blue Ash.
familiar.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was very much like those areas.
Yeah.
But my wife is not a fan of the city.
Yeah.
Even
Oh.
Findlay's too big for her. So
What?
Really?
yeah, she probably would go more rural than this.
Interesting. Okay. Country wife. Okay.
Is she taking over?
Findlay's too much of a city for her.
Findlay
Yeah,
Findlay
right.
is just a big marathon refinery. That's all it is.
Hey, we have Whirlpool. We
That's
have,
right.
Like,
You do a
Ball
Whirlpool.
Metal.
Yeah.
We have who else is around here?
That's
I
pretty
should
funny.
know all these off my top.
You
of my head.
should. You're city councilman. Former city councilman. So other than the drastic cuts to the schools, which is terrible,
Which is awful.
I'm trying to think. How have there been any other impacts on your life from this? More family time, I know.
Just having to find stuff to occupy. Like the urban homesteading came out because of the having to find stuff to do at home.
Mhm.
But other than that, taking up a skill or for a hobby, like I was starting to play the guitar last year, and so you'd think I have more time to practice. Not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you just the usual stuff that everyone has to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, being careful when going out. Grocery shopping is weird. Even today, I'm still wearing a mask in the grocery store.
Oh, I am too.
Yeah, and we're we wanted to do this before the pandemic, but now we're doing it now as we do the grocery pickup. So you just fill out your order online. They get a little liberal with their substitutions.
Right.
I'll say they get a little liberal with them. They'll substitute products and be like, dude, bro, this isn't even like close to what I wanted. But other than that, it's fantastic.
Now, I've always wondered, because I don't know if anyone does this, can you just refuse a substitution
You
and
can.
say, hey, we'll refund you?
You can click like no substitutions for an item, and then they just won't charge you for it. Yeah,
I've never minded the substitutions.
Some of them.
So, I mean, some of them are a little.
like,
Some of
See, sometimes they try to make it benefit you, so you get like a bigger package,
Yeah.
with a more expensive brand name or whatever.
Yeah. But I was I wanted to do that for years because I hate going to the grocery store.
Well, I know. I mean, I think I will definitely use like Prime Fresh, and from
We've been doing Amazon Prime Fresh a lot.
Whole Foods. I don't think you have that in Findlay, do you? You can't
No.
get that stuff yet.
Yeah. He does grocery delivery.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
I do it all the time.
because we live so close to the grocery store.
I do it now because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, we're work from home. I'll just shoot off my order. It'll be there in like an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
It's awesome. There's like no wait times
Yeah.
now.
I actually enjoy going to the grocery store. I don't know why. I just enjoy going.
Tim, I
Like,
used to.
I am the one who goes usually because I can keep within a budget.
Yeah.
And like I know you guys will never believe this about me. Maybe I've shared it before, but I'm a big time couponer, or at least I was before all this started. And so I will try to get the absolute
Nice.
best deal possible.
But Tim, do you find yourself compelled to buy items because you get good coupons, or do you?
Great question.
Do you stick with I'm just gonna
He's
buy
smirk,
the stuff?
he's smiling. He's like,
Because-
it's a good deal.
Because I know people go down the coupon hole and they're like, "Oh wow, you can get 50 deodorants."
I'm not that extreme.
Okay.
But yeah, sometimes I will buy things that I usually wouldn't buy. like a brand or a flavor or something that I wouldn't have bought normally.
Yeah.
So, for example, I can't tell you the last time I bought shampoo
Yeah.
because I have kids and they don't really care what kind of shampoo it is.
Yeah.
So as long as it's on sale or I hit a good coupon up or whatever, I can buy a ton of shampoo. That one is good. And funny story, before COVID-19, all this stuff happened, there was a sale on toilet paper. And I had
Really?
multiple coupons for it. And so I have not bought toilet paper since March.
I had like a week, maybe
He's the same way.
no, like a month, like a month before lockdown. It's just me and my wife, and I bought the Costco massive pack, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I was
some.
TP rich.
Yeah, he had so much TP. It's like we hit the start of a cycle from Costco. We're good.
Yeah.
My wife and I, on the other hand, we were transitioning between houses during this pandemic, so we had nothing, like literally nothing. Terrible time to transition to houses during a pandemic, by the way. He gave me some. My mom gave me some toilet paper. I mean, I was like, I need some toilet paper. Like we have a house now. We have nothing. You know, we have to shower after every bowel movement now. You know? And I'm like, you can't, these are fresh pipes. You can't be flushing napkins down them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be doing that. And so luckily he had some, my mom had some. And then I remember I went to the store. I remember I went to the store like week 2 of this, and it was like a scene from a zombie apocalypse movie. And I got a roll of paper towels. And I was like, yes. But I remember the scene at that grocery store. I mean, it was insane. I don't know if you went like so DeWine announced on a Sunday. I remember this because I wanted to go to the restaurant. DeWine announced on a Sunday at midnight tonight, all restaurants and bars are closing. And the next Monday I went to the store, and it was like a zombie apocalypse movie. It was crazy.
Yeah, I went to our store, actually. It was funny. The afternoon that DeWine announced that schools were going to be closing.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know why I thought that was a good time. I was like, it was my regular grocery shopping day, so I'm like, I'll probably be fine. No, it was crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, that was a big one when he announced that. That was before the restaurants and bars. I remember that too.
I was just sitting back on my couch.
Yeah, just loaded with all these idiots. I went to Costco, and I have not been to a Costco.
I haven't either.
In fact, and I very rarely go to the grocery store just when there's really random things I know we need, and I'll go in a mask with my hand sanitizer, and I use the self-checkout. But other than that, like we like my wife, we are not going to restaurants. Andy and I went to Applebee's.
We went to Applebee's.
On our last, have you been to a restaurant yet?
My first restaurant, it was weird. My first restaurant was after the trip to Manistee Trail.
That's funny.
And I haven't been in one since. That was the first one since March. It's really weird.
Yeah,
because everyone was wearing masks and gloves, the wait staff was, and then we were separated by about I don't know, 9 feet or something from other people. And it was odd.
It was just so funny. Our first restaurant was coming out of our backpacking trip, because coming out of a backpacking trip, you're like, I need something fun.
Yeah.
And Andy and I and our crew went to Applebee's.
It was the only place that was seating.
It was the only place that was seating. We're in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, and waitresses, wait staff, masks, gloves. It was every third table and disposable menus.
It was well done.
It was fine. I felt. I mean, it was a fantastic meal.
It was good.
It was like $12.
It was the best Applebee's meal I ever had.
It was. We didn't get coronavirus to our knowledge. We were spaced
well, your past
out.
2 weeks. You're
I know.
I know.
And we are actually.
Yeah.
But it was bizarre. You know, it was like, this is going to be the new normal. And I remember, I mean, shortly thereafter, not Columbus, Ohio opened patio seating first. They opened that first. And I was trying to get my wife to go. I'm like, let's just go to patio. She's like, no. And then they opened the indoor, and that's not happening. So I don't know.
We'll go. You know, if you have to eat at a restaurant, like a corporate chain restaurant that has the controls and the infrastructure.
Applebee's was pretty solid. What restaurant did you guys go to? Was it something people would know?
It was in we were in Cadillac, Michigan. I don't know. I use TripAdvisor. Josh
Yeah.
probably knows in the comments, but the place was fantastic. Great burger. That's where I had my Russian Imperial Stout.
Nice.
I
Oh,
told those guys
nice.
because the other people were driving, and I ordered it. I was like, oh, I'd probably be fine. No.
Yeah, that hit you like a
Halfway through,
pound of bricks.
That's pretty funny.
I started drinking on an empty stomach, which is a big no-no.
Oh,
You know how
yeah.
it goes. And so I told him, I said, just, I'm not driving anymore. Like I am definitely impaired. I'm not supposed to drive.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good though.
So, Tim, I'll ask the burning question that I think a lot of people want to know. Like, what's your strategy now for YouTube? Is it just going to be kind of like here and there trips?
I'd
Yeah,
like to know
it's
that.
kind of like you'll definitely see the trips because I enjoy filming the trips.
Yeah.
You'll probably see a review at some point of the Outdoor Research Healing 3.
because they made you do that to get access to it.
They didn't really say I had to do anything. I usually, when people approach me, that's
Yeah.
the first thing I usually tell them is, I don't know how you guys do it, but I usually will say,
Same.
hey, there's no guarantee
Yeah,
of like
no
anything.
strings.
I'll check it out. If I like it, I'll
Yeah.
probably do a video. So they didn't tell me I had to do a video, but I want to. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh,
So
no,
far.
that's super cool. Yeah.
it's very cool.
Yeah.
Now,
Um,
yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of drips and drabs as I feel like it. I guess, is that the syntax model now?
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah,
I've been enjoying his trip
Yeah,
videos.
I just watched his last one.
Yeah, they've been really good.
That is it's funny, the syntax model.
Yeah.
You gonna do any? You gonna go back to doing any live streams?
I think so. Actually, this is a couple weeks ago. I got the microphone back from Subaru Josh, who had it. The chicks are in that room now, though. We actually moved some stuff around in
That'd be
our house.
pretty cool to live stream with a bunch of baby chicks around you, Tim.
They are loud.
Oh yeah, I bet chirping. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's
they're as soon as like the light goes on, like they're like up, they're like chirp chirp, they're just crazy loud,
Yeah.
and it's in the room with the computer, and so sometimes my wife will try to be quiet and get in there, keep the light off, but as soon as the screen wakes up and it brightens up everything, oh, they're awake.
Oh,
We're
that's
good to go.
funny. That'd be funny though for a live stream.
Yeah.
They'll only be here like a couple more in the house, a couple more weeks, I think, and then they'll be back out. They'll be out in the coop.
They're outside.
For the predators.
Well, we look forward to any and all content we can get from you too.
Yes,
we'll take what we
absolutely.
can get.
Yeah, we'll take what
I'm
we
looking
can get.
forward to a trip video from your last trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. Like I think that one was actually our first ever planned trip when we started backpacking. That's what we wanted to do, and it probably, in all honesty, would have been a great first trip for anyone to go on.
And this is Manistee River.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the first one. We actually had the map for it and everything. And for some reason, I think when we started it, we were seeing a lot of rumors in the Facebook group about how much trash there was. And then it was getting really busy. And so we thought, you know what, let's try something else. And of course, we decided to go for the Smokies for our first ever trip, which is a little crazy. I don't think people should do that.
Oh, really?
Andy and I have talked about doing Manistee River a couple times. We need to do that.
It's
I
just
think you should.
Yeah.
I think that people always talk about the Manistee side, and some parts of it are pretty, but I really enjoy the North Country Trail side.
Yeah.
There's some like underrated views and campsites on that side. The only thing is that side is completely dry.
Yeah.
There's no water.
Yeah, we gotta put that on the list. We did part of the NCT on Pictured Rocks.
But see, the
I
problem
always
is
forgot about that.
how far is that drive from Finley, Tim?
That's
5
great.
hours.
5 hours. So
Oh,
add
that's not bad.
add 2
It's
hours.
7
So
from
that's
us.
7. But in 7 we can get to a lot of cool places.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this Manistee looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll do it sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forget
that's the
you're
nice thing
north.
about Ohio. Actually, I always tell people is that you're not like in a lot of cool backpacking spots, but you're within reach
Yes.
of a day's drive of a lot of cool spots.
That's what we tell ourselves, Tim. We live here,
Yeah.
and we're like, there's nothing cool here, but within 5 to 7 hours, we can get to some really cool places.
Yes.
It could be a lot worse. We could be living in Indiana. or
Yeah, that's
something.
right.
Oh,
That's what I tell
yes.
people too.
Yes. we
And,
could-
but that's literally the only worst place. Maybe Illinois.
At least Illinois, you're close to like Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you have Chicago, but yeah, I mean, like rural Indiana, Illinois are like the only worst spots. Is there anything in the
Well,
comments
well-
we've been going an hour here with Dr. Watson.
Yeah, let me see here. Let's see if any questions for the doctor. If you guys have any questions for the doctor,
Put 'em in the
feel
chat.
free to put them in
This has
there.
been really fun, Tim.
Yeah, there's a lot of
By the
comments
way, that's
in
one of
here.
my favorite TV shows is Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
Oh, that
It
wasn't
is.
that wasn't a reference. I just said that.
I know it was.
Oh, okay.
I know what I know what that show is though. That's one of your faves.
It is one of my faves.
You
The
watch?
reason I thought about it too is because I actually saw someone in the grocery store today, and he was wearing a Doctor Who scarf, and I'm like, it's like 90 degrees outside. Why are you wearing that
That's
scarf?
true. I forgot it was blazing hot today in Ohio.
Yeah.
Hey
It was.
Tim, Scott asked what loop are you doing in Colorado, or what area again?
Holy Cross Wilderness.
Holy Cross Wilderness.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
David Gray has the video of the route.
Yeah, David Gray has all the planning done for us. And-
Yep, pretty much. It's nice.
That's
Four
right.
pass
That's
where I'm
right.
like, okay, this is a pretty popular one I want to hit up.
Dale,
Or something, who knows? Like even 4-pass loop now, I think you have a permit. So there's some spots I want to hit up before. Like who knows if you can go backpacking them for
Yeah.
Yeah.
for however long.
Dale Smith asks, "Is there a link to the ibuprofen study?" I don't know.
If you Google Stanford Medical Ibuprofen Altitude, it should pop up.
Cool.
Or if you look at my channel, I have a link in my what I do for altitude video.
Nice. I like a good science-based behavioral trait.
yeah,
Tim. That's
Cri-
good.
Chris Smith.
That's why I was like, when I heard about it from somewhere, I was like, I gotta find the actual study.
Yeah. Read the study. Absolutely.
And so yeah, the group is not great. But I'm
Man.
like, oh, I guess their effect
This
size
is
okay.
This is a fun fact. Did you know the people who pioneered the field of altitude research were a group of Stanford doctors?
Huh, I did not know that.
Yes. After the Mexico Olympics. Fun fact. That's when all this happened. While he gets it.
Okay, Chris Smith says, "You all ever think of doing the Foothills Trail in South Carolina, North Carolina?"
I'd like to do
I don't know about you guys, but I have not. Just some things that stop me from certain areas are the drive.
Yeah.
Honestly,
North Carolina
like,
as a whole.
yeah, that'd be a haul, and then you're talking like, how 12 hours in the car? Do you think?
Yeah. 11, 12. Well, yeah, I forgot you're 2 hours north of here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 10 or 11 for us. So
What
yeah.
What's it to Pictured Rocks from you?
Oh, 8.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to say, and so which means it takes you like 9 or 10
Yeah.
between stops and
Yeah.
whatever.
Going across the bridge.
Picture Rocks was definitely probably the longest trip we've done in terms of drive time. And then so that's one reason we haven't hit up the Whites yet in New Hampshire. It's just the drive.
Yeah, that's a solid drive.
Yeah.
We flirted with going there this past 2 weeks ago, and we were just like, it was also like East Coast coronavirus, not a great place to.
Here's an interesting comment. Tyler Campbell Outdoors says, "Currently watching from a tent in Linville Gorge."
And have you been to have you done Linville Gorge?
I have not. I've seen you guys' video.
Yeah,
on it.
it's another North Carolina spot. The first half is incredible.
The first half is beautiful.
I mean, there is a trail there. I mean, it is truly awe-inspiringly beautiful.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. The second half, don't do. Just do the east side of it. Anything else?
Not really. A lot of banter. We got a lot of YouTube stars in the
Yeah,
chat.
there are. Tim, you have to go back and see the chat. There's a lot of YouTubers in here.
Yeah.
Who is the biggest star?
Who's the
David,
biggest?
probably.
I saw,
Probably David.
I saw Devin in here.
Oh yeah. Oh, Devin's in there. That's
Devin's
right.
in here. Probably
Uh,
Devin.
David, Devin, backpacking with Jason showed up. All Things Outdoors. There's a lot.
Nice.
We got the
Yeah,
crew.
the usual crew.
I made them all moderators.
Yeah, Andy did. They're all moderators on our live streams now. It's great. Thanks, guys, for moderating.
Yeah.
All right, doctor. Good doctor, sir.
Yeah, Tim, thanks so much
Thanks
for
so much,
chatting
man.
with us.
This was
It's good
really
to catch
fun.
up.
This is really fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We got to come see you in person one of these days.
I know.
So,
Once this COVID thing
I know.
is over and
I
we
know.
all get that Bill Gates vaccine with the microchip in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
I'm
we
re-
can-
yeah,
I am
that-
totally messing.
Yeah.
If anyone watches this, that is totally not me.
That's funny. Have fun. If I don't talk to you, I'm sure I will. If I don't talk to you before
Yeah.
Colorado,
Yeah, I
please
can't wait
have
for
fun.
the-
I can't wait for the video.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't-
wait to see that cool new outdoor research tech. Yes.
Yes. I'm sure you'll see it.
Okay.
All right, dude.
All right.
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Thanks, Tim.
Later.
All right. See
Yeah,
you, man.
and thanks everybody for showing up.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
Bye.